What would it look like if your 13-year-old self made a major life decision for you and your family? That's exactly what we're doing. We've sold our cars, rented our house, and are leaving behind our suburban lives for a year and headed overseas. Our intentions are family bonding and making memories, but I have a feeling much more will result. I'm Mandy Manning, along with my husband Grant and our kids Marin and Grayson, and we are embarking on the Balkans adventure we've titled Manning the Globe, where there will definitely be laughs, hopefully minimal tears, but surely lots of stories. Let's go. Hello, welcome to Manning the Globe. This is the Israel edition. We have had the fortunate enough experience of recently traveling to Israel. And so we were there about 4 or 5 days, had a great time. It wasn't long enough. But if Israel is not on your bucket list, it's something to check out for sure. And we just like to share some of our highlights of Israel.
So I'll go first. So my favorite part was the Dead Sea. And there's this building, you sign in, there's probably several places you can sign in, but this one of them, sign in, and then you take this like truck thing down to the Dead Sea because it's like, it's been shrinking. It's been shrinking like a meter a year. And so you have to go take the truck down to the thing. And since it's like so far below sea level and it's in the desert, it's really hot. And so there's also like a ton of salt on the shore. And like it's like pure salt. And then the first thing you notice when you walk in is it's like hot.
It's like warm, like bath water.
Yeah.
95 degrees.
Yeah.
It's hot.
And then at first you don't really feel, it doesn't feel too much different besides the fact that it's so hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would suggest not to go in there if you have like cuts, because it will hurt.
Really bad.
Really bad. And then once you walk in further, you can literally lift one of your legs up, and then your legs are straight
Yeah,
out.
just like bobbing in the water.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And then it's crazy because you're not even in the slightest bit trying to float. Like you can try to sink, but you still float. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there's this little thing that you can wash off in, and the water in it, it's fresh water, but the water in it is so hot, it's like boiling hot. And then you go out, you're still gonna have salt on you for a few days, but yeah.
Yeah, I think what you're referring to is they pump fresh water from the resort to the entrance to the Dead Sea. And so they have like makeshift showers. And so since it's being pumped through like a desert and a black pipe, it comes out of the spout equally as hot as the Dead Sea.
Yeah,
but
hotter.
All in all, were you happy? I mean,
yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Perfect. Marin, what would you like to share?
My favorite part was the Mediterranean. It was kind of cool because like it's like all this city and like so crowded, but then you go out and there's just like this huge sea and you can't even see the end. The first thing we went to...
Do you remember the city name?
Tel-Aviv.
Oh yes, that's the name. But there's like this little city next to it, and there's like this port coming off of the city, and it's that our tour guide said that's where when Jonah was running away from God, that's where like he got in a boat and went away, and then supposedly got eaten by a whale or big fish or something.
Did get eaten by a whale.
Yeah, but whatever, fish, whatever, something. And like we got like these boogie board things, so we were like going off the waves and stuff because there's like it's so big. There's different sections for like surfing and swimming and stuff.
Yeah.
So we got a boogie board and we're going over the waves and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, 2 different areas. You didn't boogie board at the Jaffa
At the
port.
Jaffa port.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. And it was really salty though too.
It wasn't really salty,
but the water is fairly clear.
Yeah, you guys enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Enjoyed
Really
swimming in
fun.
the Mediterranean.
Yeah, I would suggest
definitely
bringing
recommend
goggles though,
Yeah.
because that makes it a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Grant.
Yeah, so I was going to mention a bit about Masada, which is, I guess, a natural ancient fortress in Israel. It's close to the Dead Sea. Actually, you can see the Dead Sea from the top of the fortress. So It's down by there in the Judean desert. There's a lot of history with Masada, as some of you may know. I didn't know hardly anything about it. But anyway, you have to take a cable car up to it because it is quite a bit of altitude, probably 1,000 or maybe a couple thousand feet up, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was originally a site that King Herod built just in the 1st century BC and used as a complex for his own liking. But what it became famous for is when the Jewish Israelis were defending against the Roman takeover, and they were revolting against that. And they were able to go up to the Masada fortress, about 960 of them, and kind of as part of their rebellion, were trying to fend off the Romans from this plateau on the top of this desert. And there was like 8,000 to 10,000 Romans, and they were able to hold them off for quite a while. But when it became clear that the Romans were built a ramp and were going to be able to take over these Jewish people, they all committed suicide rather than being taken, hostage or as prisoners to the Roman people. So that was really cool. A lot of history. It was very hot, but there was a great amount of history, and it was very interesting, and I think it was a real testament to the Jewish people in Israel.
Yeah. I would say I echo all of those things. But just going to the old city in Jerusalem was
really cool.
Was really amazing because there's so many different stories that we've heard about as Christians for years that we actually get to see. So we'll blog a little bit more about that. But again, I think bottom line, like if you haven't thought about going to Jerusalem or Israel, it's a great place to go.
Yeah.
People were concerned about, if it was safe to go or not. But Tel Aviv is a really young, modern city.
Yeah, it's only about 100 years old.
Yeah, and so I think people that haven't traveled abroad, Tel Aviv is a really easy place to go to. Mm-hmm. I would say there's probably going to be a little culture shock going to Jerusalem, but a lot of English speakers and in Tel Aviv for sure.
It's full.
Like the building part, it's a lot like Chicago, kind of like all the buildings, besides like the actual like housing part. But
yeah, one of my favorite comments that Marin made when we were in Tel Aviv was, she said, "I know that you and Dad really like crappy old towns, but this is kind of my style." So if you like the same style of city as Marin, you will also love Tel Aviv. So until next time, bye.